I hope you're having an amazing week. I'm coming in here again just to let you guys a little bit more about myself. So today I just wanted to kind of talk about my inspirations. Oh, look at my little shirt, y'all. I got it from the Bahamas. It says "We Be Jamming," and it got these little characters on it. It's so cute. I love it so much. Kind of little '90s vintage look to it. I love vintage fashion, which is a part of my inspiration. So we go get there. So where do I even start? Like, let's just say ever since I've been a child, I've always been an older soul. I've always been around older people. I love sitting and talking to older people. Like, it's just always been a thing for me. But this is my theory. This is what I think started it all. As a toddler, I used to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and Soul Train would be on. And I used to stay up and just watch it for hours. And I was just always just captivated by seeing this room full of black people that are all dressed so nicely, that are just dancing and having a good time. And they always had these really cool artists just on stage, like Marvin Gaye or Michael Jackson, like whoever. Everybody was there, okay? And I was just like, man, I would love to do that show, not knowing years down the line, like as a kid I used to be like, oh, I wish I could be on that show, but just not knowing that the show has been canceled for years. you know but I used to just stay up and watch that all the time. But I just love vintage black culture. Ooh, I get to nerd out with y'all. I'm so excited. But just vintage black culture, it's just something about the way it looks. It's just something like you can feel the warmth of it, the community in it. It's just so nice. And I just always remember just staring at like not only just like the things they used to do or like listen to the music, but I used to just stare at the clothes they used to wear. And I remember when I was like in middle school and I was just love like looking at like 80s fashion, and like I used to just obsess about wanting to get clothes like that. And I got to a point where I was just asking to go to the thrift store like all the time, just all the time, and just finding vintage clothing. And I was just always wanting to build on it. One of my main goals was like having like a closet full of like windbreakers, which now I do. So exciting. So exciting. But anyway, just love just the way it looks, from like the gold to the costume jewelry to the shoulder pads to all of that. And what I especially loved about 80s clothes is how androgynous it was. Like everybody can wear the same thing. And I just always wanted to like present that way because it just was so cool to me. And another one of the things that I especially love is like Afrofuturism. I just love the idea of seeing black people in space and just in futurism in general. Because a lot of times when you see like futurism, it's seen through the eyes of like, white people, especially like when you like look on the TV screen growing up. But I didn't get to like really see representation of black people in space as often until I came across funk music, man. The first time I discovered what exactly funk music was, like I always knew I liked it, but I didn't know what it was called at first as a kid. All the music that you hear at the cookouts and stuff like that. But just literally, I used to just sit there and just look at all this old black culture, all this old black, you know, albums, and just looking at all the album covers and just seeing what they had on. I'm like, they look so cool. Especially when I came across George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, all of those people, or you see bands like Midnight Star, and I'm just like, man, they look so cool. Prince and the Revolution, not even just all of the Prince bands, all of them, they all look so cool. Or Michael Jackson, and just, I was like, man, I really want to look like that. They look so cool. Like, who doesn't want to look like that? Like, oh my goodness. And then just not only like the fashion style captivated me, because I love clothes. I love clothes, y'all. Just not only that, but also the sounds from, like, you listen to Zapp and Roger and you hear all this like talk box and all these really cool synth sounds and vocoders and stuff like that. Like, the club music back in the day, like, they had it going. Like, I wish we could bring some more of that back. It just always captivated me so much. And it's a lot of the culture has stuck around, but I feel like it's not as strong as it used to be. Like, you still have Afrofuturism in a way of, like, for example, like Black Panther. That was a big representation of what Afrofuturism is, especially in modern terms. you know but I also love, outside of loving that, I also love like the really colorful, bright, in your face stuff. Like, it was so cool. And I think the reason why it inspired me so much is because of the fact it's the first time that I ever saw black people who were different, who were weird in a good way, who were just, doing whatever they wanted, and they were respected and loved. And I was just always so, like, I could resonate with that, because growing up I was always someone that was just different, whether it was the way I dressed or the way I act or the kind of music that I played. And it's the first time that I had ever looked and saw a representation of myself through music and through media. And plus, black people just look cool. Like, I love being black, y'all. It's amazing. Like, we're some awesome people. We're some really, really cool people. Some very influential people. It's amazing. And just, yeah. I think the next time, which I think I've mentioned this on this page before, the other time that I saw representation of myself was through Janelle Monáe, a more modern. Because a lot of times I saw a lot of women that were, in the same box, especially in like the early 2000s. But I saw Janelle Monáe, and she came on stage with like this pompadour. I think it was at the BET Awards, a pompadour and this really cool like suit and these Oxford shoes. And I just remember sitting there thinking, like, I want to look like that. I want to do that. Part of that is the reason why I have my hair cut the way it is. And not even just that, performance, but also just like seeing artists like James Brown and Prince and Little Richard. They always had like this really cool look just on the side with their haircuts. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that as a woman, because why not? I just love always the idea of looking sharp as a woman, because a lot of times when you think about being sharp or think of the word sharp, a lot of people think about a man. And I just always wanted to like change the narrative that I want to be sharp. I think I look pretty sharp right now, with the glasses and the haircut, or even then, like, I always loved blazers and stuff. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I just always love vintage black culture, love the way that we represented ourselves. We weren't afraid of color, we weren't afraid of style, we did whatever. And I just want to be someone that pushes that as well, with a little retro twist, because we love it. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you have an amazing time. Thank you for listening to me nerd out on this channel. And I'm going to be sending some more your way.